It was a fantastical sunny day when Seth and his brothers were at the beach. They decided to build a massive sandcastle. They started to dig a big moat around the castle when Seth found a beautiful shell. He put it to his ear and he could hear a sound. Seth and his brothers started to chant the sound together, and then suddenly they shrunk into the size of a potato. Seth and his brothers were intrigued to see what their sandcastle looked like from the inside. Seth was first to enter the castle. Falling down an oversized hole, Seth screamed, "Come on guys, it's fun!" Soon enough they had all reached the bottom with a thud and were staring in amazement at the sight of a giant crab. They all started running away until their feet got stuck in wet, sinking sand. Not far behind them was a giant crab. Was he a friend or an enemy? "Stay very still, I'm here to help," said the crab. One by one, a giant crab's claw plucked Seth, Isaac, Arthur and Rufus to safety. Seth had a thought and asked the crab, "How can we get out?" The crab led them through the castle, weaving through many tunnels until they reached a small, green and white spotted mushroom. Above the mushroom, Seth could see the bright blue sky above. The crab said, "Climb up on the mushroom and start to jump." Seth rocketed through the hole above. All the brothers followed. "Well, that was an adventure," exclaimed Seth.
Namaste. The story begins. It was a fantastical sunny day. So we're going to make our bodies into sun rays. So you're going to sit on your bottom and you're going to take your legs out nice and wide. And the legs don't have to be straight, you can bend through the knees. So Kitty's quite tight in the back of her body, so she needs to put a nice big bend in her knees, don't you, Kit? So that she can sit upright. Have the centre of the knees and the toes looking up towards the ceiling. So this is your first sun rays, and you might get a nice opening to the inside of the groin and your legs. Now we're going to bring the arms by the sides of the body. Come into your breath, so as you breathe out, you're going to bring the arms to a T shape. And then as you breathe in, you're going to lower your arms down. So breathing out and in. Now I really want you to feel that you're stretching from your fingertips out to the side and that you're stretching through the soles of your feet towards the sea, and that the crown of the head is lifting you up towards the sunshine, and that your bottom is grounding down towards the earth. Now if you want to, and your shoulders and the sides of your body feel happy to, you can bring the arms up a little higher perhaps, and then you breathe in and you lower them down. So Kitty's going to keep her arms moving like a T and lowering them down, and I'm going to bring my arms higher up. So I'm already feeling the energy of this sun. One more, and make this the last time that you bring your arms down. Fantastic. So that's the beating sun, and now we thought we're on a beach. So I asked Kitty what she kind of thought about when what came to her mind when she was on a beach, and Kitty very wisely said palm trees. So there's a fantastic posture in yoga. It's a balancing posture, a standing single leg balancing posture, tree pose called Vrksasana. So we're going to bring ourselves up to standing. Now because it's a one leg balance, you might want to use a wall to help you balance. But first of all, we are going to ground through the feet. So really feel like you're shooting out tree roots deep into the earth. And imagine that you're a really tall tree. So the crown of the head draws up towards that fantastical sunshine. Now your tailbone, so the very end of your spine, points down towards the earth. So don't have the bum sticking out or tucking under. So make yourself nice and tall and long. You're going to bring your hands into Anjali Mudra. And lift the elbows up a little bit. Gently press the hands towards one another and feel as though that the elbows are reaching out to the sides. Lovely. So you're going to pick up the left heel and you're going to turn the left leg out and you're going to bring the heel to the inside of the ankle. And this might be your tree pose. Now, if you want to challenge your balance a little more, you might bring your foot below the knee. And this is where you'll press your foot into the leg. That's right. And now, if you're feeling really strong and balanced, and Kitty and I are both doing really well, you might want to encourage your foot higher up to the inside of the thigh. Now, you kind of got to press the foot into the thigh and the thigh into the foot. That's it. And it's fine if you wobble out. Perfect timing, Kitty. And you're going to bring yourself back down. Now, plant roots through that left foot. Be tall, reach up to the sunshine with the crown of your head. You're going to, well, actually, we could change the arms. So you can have your hands again in Anjali Mudra, or you might want them out like that T shape, or up a little more like the sun's rays. So do what suits you. I'm going to come back to Anjali Mudra, and Kitty's going to keep hers maybe in a T shape. That would be good. You're going to pick up your right heel. And you're going to turn the right leg out and bring the right heel to the inside of the ankle. So keep your tail, imagine that you've got a dog's tail attached to your spine. Keep it pointing down. And it might be that you think, okay, I'm all right at this. I'm going to bring my foot below the knee. Now I can't, watch what happens when I bring this right foot up. It just slides down, look, and it's nearly taking my trousers with me. So let's not do that. And it's because my right hip's just not as open as my left hip. Brilliant. Remember still to breathe and feel nice and tall and grounded. Lovely. Now you're going to step yourself out. Now also at the beach, we've got the sand, we've got the palm trees, we have the ocean or the sea, we have water. So we're going to make our back into waves. So we're going to come to an all fours position. I'm going to come sideways on. Kitty's going to stay in this position. Okay, we're going to come to all fours, Kitty. That's right. So kids, bring yourself further down the mat. That's it, so that they can see you. You're going to root the hands to the earth. You're going to gently press down through the tops of the feet. And that tail, that dog's tail that's hanging from the end of your spine, is going to tuck under, and then you're going to look at that tail coming through from in between your legs. And now you want to stick the tail up towards that fantastical sunshine, and you might look up at the blue sky at yourself. Now if you want to link breath with movement, you breathe out as you round, and you breathe in as you arch. So imagining that you are the waves rushing in onto that lovely golden sandy beach. Lovely, and now resting, brilliant, coming off of all fours. So Seth and his three brothers, Isaac, Arthur and Rufus, started to build a sandcastle, and the sandcastle looked fantastic, and they thought, right, we're going to dig really deep and we're going to build ourselves a moat. They dug themselves a deep moat, and Seth found a shell. He found a clam shell. So we're going to make our bodies into a clam shape. So you need to come onto your side with the elbow under the shoulder, with the hips on top of one another, with the knees on top of one another, with the ankles and feet on top of one another. Try not to lean backwards in space. Try and be really nice and upright. Press down through the earth. So again, lay your roots down. Lovely. And you can have your top hand on the floor, or it might be on the side of your body. Now, you're going to keep your ankles and your feet glued, and you're going to open that top leg away from the bottom leg, and then you're going to close. So you're going to open and close, and it might be that you can feel the outside of the leg and the bottom working quite strongly. That's right. Well done. So we're going to do one more. Brilliant. Now we've got two sides to our body, so we need to flip round and do the other side. So this time you've got right elbow under right shoulder. You're on your right hip and you've got your hips stacked, your knees stacked, your ankles and your feet stacked. And again, you keep the ankles and the feet glued and you open the top knee away from the bottom knee. And you plant your roots down from your hand, your arm, your hip, your leg, your ankle and your foot. So you feel really solid and stable, and you'll start to feel that outside of this top hip and your bottom becoming quite warm. We're going to do two more and make this your last one, opening up like a clam. Fantastic. Come to comfortable sitting. So Seth has found this big clamshell and he puts it up to his ear and he hears a magical chant. So we're going to chant, and first of all I want to talk to you a little bit about the breath, because we're going to breathe with a balloon breath or a diaphragmatic breath, but balloon breath is, I think, probably easier to pronounce. So I want you to put your hands on your belly, and now I want you to imagine that you've got a balloon in your belly, and when you breathe in through your nose or through your mouth, the balloon inflates, it gets bigger, and you'll feel your belly pushing your hands forwards. And then when the balloon deflates, it goes from big to small, and you'll feel your belly relax and the hands will move back. So we're going to do that a few times before we chant. Now Kitty and I are going to demonstrate the chant of Om. We're going to demonstrate this just once. So Kitty, are you ready for a nice big balloon breath? So let's all chant Om, and Om is this. I like to see the word Om, the sound of Om, as meaning, having a meaning for love, for happiness, for good health. So that's what we are offering to ourselves and to others in the world. So hands to belly, so we're going to chant 3 times. Take that nice deep balloon breath in. Second round, deep breath in. Last breath. Fantastic. Now magic happens, and the 4 boys are really now small. They are as small as a potato. So you're going to come and lie on your back, and you're going to hug your knees in towards your belly. So you can hold the backs of the thighs, or you could hold the shins. And you're really going to draw the legs down into the belly as much as is comfortable for you. And if you want to, you can make yourself into an even smaller potato by lifting your head up. But of course, if that hurts your back, or the back of your neck, then you bring the head back down to the floor. Oh, and this is a lovely one for stretching through the lower back. I love this. This is Apanasana. Brilliant. So they of course want to go on an adventure, and they choose to Seth first. the invincible Seth, goes into the sandcastle first. And he falls from the very mouth of the castle down into a big, big hole. So let's fall. So we're going to come up to standing. And you're going to root yourself in mountain posture. Now we're going to start to spin the arms. And you're going to spin your arms and you're going to bend your knees and you're going to make yourself smaller and smaller and smaller. And you could do some sounds like, ah! And you're going to come up again. So imagine that you're falling down a hole through the mouth of the sandcastle. Now let's spin the other way. Now if you want to make this a little trickier, why don't you try and take your heels from the floor and bend your knees, make yourself smaller and smaller. See if you can keep your heels lifted. Now can you come up with your heels lifted? Ooh. Ooh. And of course, all of Seth's brothers follow him down the hole. And down through the mouth of the sandcastle, and they land with a thud in a big hole. So let's make our bodies into a big hole. So we're going to have our sun ray legs, bending the knees as much as you need to, or keep them nice and straight, and the feet are a little awake. And now you're going to take hold of your hands, so you're making a circle with your arms, and you're going to look down through the hole. Lovely. Now, imagine that somebody is pulling your hands forwards, and this might mean that it pulls your body forwards so that your front of your body, your belly and your chest get a little closer to the ground. And again, this is a fantastic stretch to the back of your body, back of your legs through that back, and if you've got your chin in towards your chest, even up through the neck. Brilliant. Coming up. So they all land with a thud. Now, they look so surprised and a little bit worried because they see a giant crab. So we're going to make our bodies into two types of crab. The first one being the simplest, and then the second one being, well, very challenging, I would say. So you're going to lie on your backs and you've got your feet on the floor. You've got your arms by the sides of your body and you're tucking your chin in a little bit. Now you're going to gently press through your feet, through your hands, through your arms, down through your bottom, down through the shoulders, the back of their head. And that tailbone, that tail at the end of your spine is going to tuck under and it's going to look up towards the ceiling. And you're going to start to peel the back of your body from the earth, but ground through your base. Now this is where you might feel the balm working. So it's had to contract and squeeze to lift you up. So this might be your crab. So this is bridge pose, and you can see I'm in a nice, hopefully, a nice diagonal line rather than a sagged bottom. And you can bring yourself down. So we're now going to make ourselves into a bit more of a challenging crab, Parsvottanasana. So this is reverse table pose. So you've got your feet on the floor, bottom on the floor, hands are planted behind you. I like to have my fingers looking towards my feet. Bend the elbows, roll the shoulders back. Now you press through your feet, you press through your hands. The tail tucks under to, again, look up towards that fantastical sunshine, and you press yourself up. Now here we're going to try and avoid dropping our bottom down. We're going to really squeeze the bottom and keep it lifted. Now can you keep the bottom lifted and walk down your mat sideways like a crab? And of course you can come out whenever you want to, because I know how hard this is. But I'm really trying to keep my bottom up high without gritting my teeth. Well done, Kitty. Now they weren't sure whether the crab was a friend or an enemy. So, come up to standing. They started running away. So you can run really fast, or you might just want to slow jog, or you just might want to just gently run on the floor. But if you want to go fast, your knees could be high, you could be pumping your arms. But they come to an abrupt stop because they land in wet, sinking sand, and the crab says, stop, make yourself really, really still. So they do, so they make themselves into mountain posture, Tadasana. So plant your feet, ground through your feet to the earth. So plant the roots. Feel as though the roots of your feet are really going down and down, further and further to the earth. Now your tailbone, it points down directly towards the floor, and the shoulders are down from the ears, and the fingertips draw the shoulders down a little more. Now the crown of the head in opposition to the fingers and the feet draw you up, so you feel the sides of your neck, your throat, the back of your neck being really nice and long. So whilst they're standing in Tadasana, the crab says, I'm here to help you, I'm your friend. So he plucks them out from the sand, one by one. Now, Seth says, oh my goodness, I've just thought, how on earth can we get out of here? So the crab, of course, knows. So he leads them, he weaves them through tunnels. So we're going to make our body into a weaving shape. So for me, a weave is either that S shape or a C shape. We're going to make our bodies into a C shape. So you're going to come down to lying. And I will be in contact with Kitty here, so you've got to imagine, so nice and long, lying on your backs, legs long, arms overhead, or if you want to, you can have the arms out like a T or closer in towards the sides of your body. So you do what suits. Now we're going to keep our bottom rooted and glued to the floor, and we're going to take our legs out to the left side, but keep the bum glued to the earth. And then we're going to take the arms to the left side. And now go back into that deep balloon breath. Breathe really deeply in. Feel the balloon growing in your belly and through the sides of your body, especially through this open right side. And the exhale becomes slow. Super, super slow. Lovely. Now you're going to come back to the centre, and we've got to do that to the other side. So your legs go over to the right side, keep the bum glued on the floor, and then bring the arms over to the right side. And find that deep balloon breath. Brilliant. Come back to the centre, roll to one side so that you can come up to sitting. So they weave through all of these tunnels and they get to a mushroom. It's a green mushroom, I think, with white spots, or a white mushroom with green spots. I can't quite remember. But they get to a mushroom, and let's make our bodies into a mushroom actually. So it's the same shape that we made for a potato. So it's Apanasana. So you're lying on your back and you've got your knees in towards your belly. And if you want to, you lift your head up. Apanasana. And remember, try and take those nice deep balloon breaths. Those balloon breaths are what calms us. Brilliant. Roll onto one side. Now, the giant crab says, right, you need to get on top of the mushroom and you need to jump. And if you jump, then you'll spring up out of the hole back onto the beach. So this is our last posture before we come down to lying. So it's a little energetic. So you might not want to do it, it's up to you. So we're going to come to an all fours position. That's it, Kitty, move a little bit further back to your mat, please. back. That's it. Lovely. Now from this all fours position, you're going to step your hands a little further forwards and you're going to tuck your toes under and you're going to shift your bottom back and then the knees will lift up and the bottom's going to lift up towards the ceiling and the heels are going to drop down towards the earth. And this is dog down pose. Downward facing dog or inverted V. Triangle. Now, we've got to make ourselves a little springy. So start to put a little bounce in your knees. And that little bounce might lead you into a spring. Whee! Woo! And you've got to try and land really lightly. Again, you might just want to do some bounces so that you feel nice and springy. Ooh, and it makes you really hot. One last hop. And they all make it out onto the beach. And miraculously, they are their normal size again. And what do we all do when we're on a beach? When we've had that much fun, we come down to lying in Shavasana. So Kitty's going to lie down on her back. I'm going to stay seated. Oh, and she's going to lie nice and comfortably. Kitty's got her arms out like sun rays, so she looks like a starfish. Of course, bring your arms closer in towards the side of your body. Have your legs closer together, not as wide as Kitty if you choose to. So, as you lie here in Shavasana, you might choose to close your eyes. And I'd like you, first of all, to just notice your breath. And after all of that jumping, your breath might be a little quicker. Your heart might be pounding a little faster. So just start to notice when your heart and your breath slow down. Oh, and you might feel nice and relaxed and calm. Now, if you've got the time, stay here a little longer. And you might want to use that chant Om. So instead of singing it through your mouth, why not sing it to yourself in your head? When I chant, even chanting inwardly to myself, I breathe in and then I chant on that out breath. Breathing in, chanting Om to yourself as you breathe out. And you can do that for as long as you wish. Namaste.